The following live stream has been approved for restricted audiences only. It will definitely contain strong language and maybe some adult themes. Almost certainly. Viewer inebriation is advised.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome back to Last Call, where tonight it's another Friday free-for-all. That's right, I have nothing specific on the docket tonight, well, other than the usual, to drink and chat with all of you. And on a free-for-all night, you are the primary focus. Tell me what topic you would be interested in discussing in the chat. And while you're at it, let me know what you're sipping on. Then top off your glasses, get settled in, and we'll get this Canarble Wagon rolling right after a word of thanks and a song.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
Tava salud. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Super appreciate it. Tonight, I want to thank JPRPH1 for the drink tonight. I am working my way through all the individuals who bought me drinks on my birthday, so I'm still getting through them. Tonight, I am going to be drinking a brown mumbler. Those of you that have been with me a while know what a brown mumbler is, but for those of you that don't, I will explain. A brown mumbler is 3 ounces of Christian Brothers brandy, which you see right over my shoulder, not a sponsored stream, 1 ounce sweet vermouth. I am using Cokie Americano, and a little dash of soda, and a couple of brandied cherries. I've been sipping on this a little while, so they sank to the bottom, but I'll work my way down. So want to thank you guys so much for that, and I will be having another song next week, because like I said, I'm still working on still working my way through the list of people that were kind enough to sponsor my habit. I mean, my Friday night drink. So tonight it is Friday, and I think we should relax and take it easy. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that want to own me, 2 that want to stone me, 1 says she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy. Well, I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. We may lose and we may win, but we will never be here again. So open up by climbing in and take it easy. I love songs with a drink break. I mean guitar solo. I was front loading, so I'm going to be pretty lit tonight. If you want to buy me a drink, links down below. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. Got a world of trouble on my mind. Looking for a lover who won't blow my cover. She's so hard to find. Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby. Don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. Whew. Oh, we got it easy. We ought to take it easy. There we go. And this time I'm going to remember to switch to my earbuds before I bring anybody in. There we go. Bear with me. Yes. So, if you like the song, like I said, and you want to buy me a drink, the link's below. I'm here all week. Don't forget to tip the waitstaff, but if you do, make sure you help them up again. Let me introduce that waitstaff. We got Big Al of Big Al Presents, Connie Cleary, 1863. As Deleted Scenes refers to her, the bird woman of YouTube. CK the Continuum Chronicles, David Pensek, Sir Torrin Clegane, and the Skeptic Tank. And I'm just going in alphabetical order as they are listed down below every week. Make sure you subscribe to all of their channels. Let me bring in... Oh, how could I'm sorry? The Maître D, Deleted Scenes, and the Hostess with the mostess, Lady Mist. You guys are awesome. And so are you all, starting with my lovely and talented Netter of Netters Network. How you doing, my dear, and what are you sipping on?
I am actually doing really well after having a little bit of a... Yeah, you need to put the mic so people can hear me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm actually doing really well. I had a little struggle at work today, but I'm over it. So I decided...
Pardon me, folks. Little technical difficulty with the mic here. I'm going to go off camera for just a second here.
Oh, did it come off the thingy?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And how do I... There we go. Stop the camera. There we go.
So, here. Let me hold this so you can...
So I can stand up. Thank you. They can
So,
all still hear me, but... yeah, this is a class act we got here. Super, super professional.
Well, it's the revenge thing I told you was going to get you.
Well, yeah, it was bound to happen. I should really pay closer attention to this. But every now and again, I should make sure this is tightened down.
I think you need to make it a little bit looser.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
I know.
That's not the brown mumbler you're hearing. It's the brown fumbler.
Yes, smart ass. Thank you so much.
That's too little.
I think I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah, you need to make it about an inch back, the opening.
There we go. Yeah, you can go ahead and talk to the... I know they're getting all kinds of feedback from me screwing around here, but you should be able to talk to them so they can still hear you.
I know, it's like every time I tried, you kept interrupting me, so I figured I'll wait till you're done and then do it. But, okay. So, yeah, I did have a little bit of difficulty at work today, but I'm over it. So I decided, because I'm over it, I was going to have me an alcoholic beverage. So tonight, I am drinking a Kahlua with whipped cream. Because we don't have any regular cream.
I'll tell you what, it's been a week when Netter's drinking. But she's still the bouncer, so you still got to be nice to her.
And I'm only going to have the one.
Absolutely.
Unlike a certain somebody, he'll slip in 2 or 3 when I'm not looking.
Well, see, that's the thing about a brown mumbler. So this is the Midwest legend about the brown mumbler. They say that you're fine with one, you're mumbling after two, and most bars won't serve you a third. But technically, I got enough here to start mumbling at least. Of course, as you all know, I'm a pretty cheap date.
Because I've been kind of helping with the microphone and all that, I might be saying hello to a couple of you twice in the chat. So
that's perfectly okay. Speaking of who we need to say hello to, Age of Boomers, like, the hell's going on here? We're a quarter of the way into the show, and you haven't even said hi to me yet. How you doing, Boomer? What you sipping on?
I'm actually doing well today. I'll get into that in a little bit. But I was telling the chat to all start typing Boomer.
Boomer. What you sipping on?
I'm drinking a Coca-Cola. I got to work in the morning.
Oh, okay. So that means, we gotta make sure we cut you loose.
Well, around midnight-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
But good mood today. I got a bargain off eBay. I can tell you about it in a little bit on maybe later in the stream. Let me know.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I got off eBay. It's interesting. Okay.
Sounds great. Let's say hi to the chat. I think the first person that we saw is not only a member of the Waitstaff here, but great cheerleader there in the chat is D Pence at Cry Havoc and Release the Canarble Wagon. Here, salute. As we said, now she's going to be forever known as the bird woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary. Thank you so much. Again, I'm saying hi to the Waitstaff. I just went through who I have listed on the Waitstaff every week below. Didn't know if y'all were here or not, but that's cool. Salute.
Yeah, because you had me trying to say hello to people that weren't in the chat. I'm like, what? They're not coming up.
I'm sorry. I should have debriefed you before the stream. I'll debrief you after the stream.
No, I'm already debriefed from my shower.
Well, then I'll re-debrief you then. Have a great stream. Big Al presents Uej Jakjaj. Oh, I see what you were trying to say. I think what you meant to say was Uhik Kiv. Enjoy the blood wine. But that's okay. I understood what you were saying. Perfectly good. A free-for-all. Where do we start? The Mary Ray Palpatine movie? The revolving door at Doctor Who? I have to admit, Boomer, do you know about the situation with Doctor Who? Because I honestly have not even been following it. I've been that far out of it.
No, I heard the name Palpatine mentioned. Is that like a reference to the new Ray movie?
Yeah, that is. But
is she guest starring on Doctor Who? Maybe Daisy Ridley.
Deleted scenes. If you have an article about the Doctor Who situation, shoot it to us. Maybe we'll do it on Sunday, because I am so checked out of Doctor Who. I have no flipping clue what's going on.
Did the companion quit already on the show?
Yeah,
after just being introduced. It's like...
I'm going to sit here and count my money since I'm not spending it on any IPs like I used to. I know a lot of people are not. That's why Hasbro's going bankrupt. We'll talk about that on Sunday, too.
You know who was a great Doctor Who companion? Jamie. Who? Jamie, second Doctor, the Scottish Highlander.
Very underrated, yes, absolutely.
I think the only reason he's underrated because most of those episodes got lost. But this was a clever thing they did. There was an episode where they did the usual time travel deal, and I think they were in the 1800s, and they met the Highlanders, right? The Scottish Highlanders.
I remember. I have the reconstruction of the Highlanders, yes.
Do. And then at the end of the episode, I think, the type of thing where they're helping out the people in the historical episode or whatever.
Right.
And then he just sneaks aboard the TARDIS, right?
Yep.
So you have a Scottish Highlander from the 1800s around with the Doctor for like the rest of that Doctor's duration. It was funny because like they go to the future where like humans on like this alien planet are like saying, we hit this transistor. Oh, yes, of course. Like he's pretending to understand all the technical jargon, but he doesn't because he's like an 1800s Highlander. Do you understand?
I'm going to have to rewatch the second Doctor again. Actually, I need to just start going back and rewatching all the Doctors because I do have a pretty complete collection, at least as complete as is possible, including all of the loose cannon reproductions or reconstructions or whatever you want to call it. PJ of Orville Nation, you are awesome. You have contributed so much to this channel, and I am currently at 736 subscribers, and I'd say a good portion of that is because of you, and I super appreciate that. But you're going to be away from keyboard, so I understand. No worries. Giddy up, that Canarble Wagon is going to start rolling through here soon. I love the fact that that confirms for me that I've done what I set out to do with this channel, and that is get the concept of the Canarble Wagon out to the masses. Only a small subsection of people that live in the Chicagoland area that listen to WLS AM talk radio for many years even knew what the Canarble Wagon was. So I'm glad that I'm getting it out into the zeitgeist of our community, at least. Drinks at the ready, munchies on standby. Wonder what Troy has in store for us tonight. Well, you know that it's a brown mumbler that I'm drinking. You heard the song. And I'm still working my way through the chat to see what we'll be talking about tonight. And welcome back, very much missed, Matthew Flynn, the Gladiator of Chaon. Not many people in. Well, that was because you dropped that message before we went live. And as I was telling him in the chat there, you know, as soon as we go live, people will get the message. Maybe they'll start funneling in, you know. And he acknowledges that was a good point. Sir Torrin Clegane, good evening. Welcome. And I think that's as far as I got in being able to say hi to you all in typography. Let me continue on down. Keely Chow is here. Welcome, Keely. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see. Oh, I got the lead in that play I was conflicted about. Oh, congratulations. Remind us what play that was and what your role is. Well, probably if you tell us what the play is, we'll know what role it is. Logical Spock, hey, welcome. Been a while since I've been on here on a Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us. We always super appreciate. I appreciate you anytime you guys come and watch my videos, leave a comment, whatever, hit the like button and whatnot. But when you're here on Friday night with me, that's kind of really special because then, you know, we have direct interaction, you know, real time. And just like we did on Thursday, which was last night, on Netter's Network with Disney Sheepherder. Howdy and hail. Smash that like button. Thank you so much, my friend. It was great hanging out with you. Check out Netter's Network for that stream that we had with Disney Sheepherder. He had a bit of a harrowing experience after the previous time he'd been on Netter's Network. His channel got yeeted, and so did his Twitter. And we talked about that last night. You can go find that on Netter's Network. Are we getting the whole song? Yeah, I do the whole song. And I should point out, and I think I mentioned this last week, so it turns out now, every time I sing a song, I'm getting hit with a copyright claim. So it doesn't matter to me because, yeah, I know. It doesn't matter to me because I'm not monetized.
But he didn't realize he was that good.
Yeah, right. But it does mean that if I was monetized, if I had another 250 subscribers, you know.
That's a hint.
Right. If I was monetized, I wouldn't be getting any money for these streams because I'm giving it away by singing a song. So I need you guys to buy me the drink, to pay for the song, to pay for the stream that I ain't gonna get paid for. That's how it looks like it's gonna be going forward. Oh, that derelict, he keeps hanging around. I don't know, man. Lester San Jose Skeptic Tank, welcome. Did you just get off work? If so, super. Well, either way, I always appreciate you being here. You're awesome people. Let's see here. Let me make sure I get caught up. Did I say hi to Jesse Guara though? I'm sorry if I did not. Welcome. Good to see you, my friend. And you guys are all saying hi to each other, which, as you know, really encourages me, because that's just community building. And of course, Hapla! Good evening, Admiral. So glad to see you here. And let's see.
Matt Cave Gaming. Hasn't been here in a while.
I want to bring him up, but there we go. Big day today. My 6-year-old daughter began her very first journey into Star Wars.
Neat.
She chose to start with Phantom Menace, and she loved it. Okay, so you guys are going with the whole chronological order thing. That's fair. Yeah, the thing is, though, that means that when you get to Empire Strikes Back, you kind of lose the impact of the "I am your father." But that's okay. I personally think that either way is appropriate. As long as she enjoyed it, you're doing good dadding, you know. She bawled her eyes out when Anakin left home, and then a ton more when Qui-Gon died. God, see, that's the great thing about having kids, right? Is you can re-experience
Relive
these films. Things. Yeah, through them, you know, and when they have that kind of visceral, emotional reaction, you know, it's taken seed, you know. That's a good thing, in my opinion. Yes, roller coaster of emotions. And you know what? That, I believe, is what makes for good entertainment. You want to feel something. You know, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing people saying, I want to see myself up on the screen. I don't friggin' want to see myself up on the screen. I don't want to see a bald, middle-aged Italian guy up on the screen. I want to see something aspirational that I could imagine. You know, I want to see Superman. I want to see Luke Skywalker. You know, I don't need to see me. Hell, I'd be happy to see Blade. He's kind of a different color than I am, if you hadn't noticed. But I'm good with that. See?
Blade. He's a vampire hunter.
Mm-hmm. And half vampire. There is a lot of allegory you can get into with Blade, right? Because when you really look into his origin, you know, his mother and a vampire, and she wasn't really planning on it. You know, yeah. So that kind of a situation, and him kind of taking the side of his mother, so to speak. You know, I totally dig that. I think but I don't think that's something people talk about enough. But maybe when we start getting into the new, well, I don't know. I don't trust Disney. I really don't.
You don't trust them.
Salud. I don't trust them. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. That's a big damn company. Titanic Creations has a pre-order available for the largest Gorgo figure ever. Gorgo's mother stands 13 inches tall and 20 inches long. Excuse me. The Gorgo rewatch is March. That's on Big Al's channel, so make sure you are subscribed to him. And if I'm not mistaken, Evelyn Hampton will be guest hosting. Am I right? Hope I'm not, putting people on the spot here, but
I'm just guessing here.
Yeah, I'm just guessing here. Yeah. Well, a bald, middle-aged English guy is doing pretty well in film. Jason Statham, yeah, well, I wish I was in half as good a shape as that bastard. Absolutely.
He's in a really good movie called Blitz. I recommend Blitz.
I'm getting blitzed.
So am I. My plan is to get royally fucked up. Speaking of getting royally fucked up, I don't know how many drinks you are into critical thinking and drinking. No. Don't sweat it. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I super appreciate you stopping by. He's got a Twitter stream going. I don't know if it's the same one as earlier, but he was doing an interview with a bloke that lost like 150 freaking pounds, and he's still going, and that's a great thing. I don't know how these Twitter. I couldn't even log into it. He had to send me a special link to log in because I'm just too freaking dumb to figure out these X Twitter space whatever things. But if those are still available,
I want to know his diet because I want to lose 15 pounds.
Well, you know what? Go follow Critical Thinking and Drinking on Twitter. And see, I don't know if that works like YouTube, where the video will still be available later on, or how that works. But it was some good stuff. One of the things he was talking about is make sure you get your steps in every day. Get friggin' active. And ever since 2019, I think a lot of us have gotten very, very much less active. And he said he's drinking a Four Knob Creek. Make sure, I want to know what you guys are sipping on, because I want to know Netter and I aren't drinking alone here. Well, I guess Netter and I are drinking together, so we can't.
I'm now following Critical Thinking and Drinking.
There you go. Good.
I also sub to him, so, make sure y'all are subbing.
My niece had the same reaction when she saw the dinosaurs for the first time on the big screen from anniversary for Jurassic Park. When I saw Jurassic Park, I saw it with what Netter calls my imaginary friend, Otto. And I'm sitting in the theater, and when the movie was over and people are starting to get up and walk out, I said, the one thing I want to know, and I said this loud, I said, the one thing I want to know is where the hell did they find live dinosaurs for this movie? And Otto was like this big introvert, and he's like, oh, keep your voice down, would you please? And a couple of people laughed. They kind of got the joke and everything.
That reminds me of when I was a kid, I thought that all the Star Wars movies were filmed in outer space. Like they were sets in outer space that they built to shoot those scenes. But I don't know. Yeah,
exactly. Gorilla Random Thoughts said, hey there, a little late, had a long review. Well, that's perfectly great. I'm glad you're here. I'm here, but also in my own space. But why dude, I don't because I know Deleted Scenes does this, and I know some other people do. They have multiple streams going on. But I tell you what, I think that takes the cake when you're hosting or you're in. Yeah, that's just, you're amazing, man. That I can't multitask like that. Especially when I've been drinking, right? My niece. Oh yeah, we covered that. You guys are saying hi to each other. Interesting. 13. Yeah. Well, exactly. Let me get caught up on the chat here real quick. Pass by you guys saying hi to each other. The big difference between YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter, is we could all speak versus type. Thank you for checking out the new medium, my friend. You rock. No, I mean, thank you. I super appreciate that. I'm a bit of a boomer. Not literally, but, figuratively. So I have a real hard time with a new platform, new technology, whatever. Hell, I'm still trying to figure out how to stream on Rumble. I haven't figured that crap out yet. Rumble's way, way behind on the user friendliness. Truly wonderful. The mind a child is. Oh, great quote. Super
that was from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, very good. Troy, my niece, now wants dinosaur toys instead of babies. Okay, I'm going to tell a little bit of a sad story here. So, when Netter and I were first married, I was bouncing around between a few jobs, and I was taking whatever I could to help support the family. And at the time, it was a family of 4, so I really needed to get working. And I took a job in daycare. I was working at a company that worked with... any parent, especially parents of lower income, could come and drop off their children before they went to work, right? So it was daycare, is what it was. And there was this one kid, his first name was Duran. And he was, I was working with they were toddlers. So I did a lot of diaper changing, let's put it that way. But Duran was sharp as a tack. He used to play with the dinosaur toys that we had in the room, right? The little plastic ones, like I used to play with when I was a kid. So I totally could relate here. And I would ask Duran if he knew, because I was gonna, go and be the teacher and tell him about the different dinosaurs. And I said to Duran, "Do you know the names of these dinosaurs?" And he would go, "This is Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is Stegosaurus. This is," get this, those of you that know your dinosaurs, "this is Diplodocus. This is Apatosaurus." Not only did he know the difference, but he didn't say Brontosaurus. He said Apatosaurus. I said, "How do you know these?" He says, "Someday I want to be a paleontologist." Keep in mind, this is a toddler still in diapers. His verbal skills were through the roof compared to his peers. And I thought that was awesome, right?
Uh-huh.
Come to find out a few weeks later that Duran was HIV positive because his mother was HIV positive.
Oh.
And a month after that, he hadn't been in for a couple days. And they told me he wasn't coming back. He got real sick. That night, I was inconsolable. I was a wreck. And I ended up leaving that position shortly thereafter. I'm like, I just can't. I can't
That's awful.
catch myself enough, But if you have kids, or if you have nephews and nieces, or whatever, your friends have kids, anything you can do to encourage them. They're fighting a challenging battle with this next generation. So anything you can do to support them, that would be a very good thing. Found a film called Ninja vs. Shark from Japan. Can't resist that title. From Japan gives me a little bit of hope,
Yeah.
Bro, you need to restream over to X. Yeah, I know that Deleted Scenes does that. Now, he'll probably coach me through that eventually. And right now I'm still struggling with the whole concept of... Yes, I know. I'm still struggling with the concept of trying to figure out how to back up to Rumble, because we talked about this last night on Netter's Network. YouTube is and Google are throttling Rumble and not allowing you to back up your videos. I've been able to back up my videos for the past 2 months. I'm going to have to do it one by one. I can't do it automatically. And yeah, exactly. You guys get me. You guys get me. Yeah, that's a story I never thought I'd be telling on stream, but...
And then co-workers would call them and say, "The kids are asking for you. They want to know when you're coming back."
Yeah, and I was like, I can't. I just can't. Although, I will say this, I did... I'm going to try and abbreviate this story as much as possible, because I'll get too much into a whole separate story, but before this, there was a company I was working at that Netter and I had met somebody at the office that invited me and Netter out to church. We got very involved in that church group, and Netter and I did a lot of work with the children's ministry there. And on Sundays we would do the child care and so forth. And that was great. Considering Netter and I never could have children of our own, it was a great experience for us. And I even used the youth ministers from the church as my references when I got that one job. So.
And what was funny is there was one time we were at, it wasn't our regular church outing, it was kind of like a special church thing. So we were in a hotel, and we had rented out rooms, like we rented out their biggest room, and then we had like the children's ministry and other rooms. And there was one kid that as soon as his mom dropped him off, just started wailing because he didn't want to be away from mama.
Oh.
And so I'm trying to calm him down, and it's not working. Troy picks him up, sits down with him, starts rocking a little bit. The kid just kind of curled himself into Troy's chest and went to sleep.
He didn't want to participate that day, but it got him through. It got him through that day, and it got to the point where every week he'd seek me out. If he saw me, even outside of class, he'd come give me a hug. That was some pretty cool stuff. I shared. I think I shared around the Christmas time about how I had played Santa Claus with that church group at a children's hospital, and one of the brothers in the church, his daughter came and told me what she wanted for Christmas and whatnot, and got a picture of me, and I found out actually a significant time later that she liked keeping that picture up on the refrigerator. I met Santa, and I'm like, I was Santa to somebody. Jesse Guajardo says Michael Crichton notes how children are so into dinosaurs to the point that they can learn so much about these animals. They keep up with the latest information at the academia level. Yeah, it absolutely is. And that's why, those little plastic dinosaurs, great investment if you're a parent. Absolutely.
I had a rubber Stegosaurus.
Did you? I had one of those, all the little plastic ones of different colors and whatnot.
You see, when I was growing up, they were rubber. I think they switched to rubber for a lot of dinosaurs.
Yeah, mine was hard plastic.
Yeah,
I am a little bit older than you. I'm 71. What year were you?
77.
Yeah. And you were well into the Carter oil crisis. So
now, for me, I didn't have any dinosaur toys because I was a girl, but I had a book. It was called The Shy Stegosaurus. And it was this incredible little adventure thing where there's a brother and sister, and they're living out pretty much in the middle of nowhere because their father is some sort of archaeologist. I forget what it was he was looking for, but him and his group were out doing their thing, and the little girl and boy would go and explore like all through the rocks and all that, during the day because there was really nothing else to do. And somehow they came across an actual Stegosaurus. And the Stegosaurus, of course, spoke English because, it's a children's book. And, just tell him it's like, at first he would kind of like hide because he was shy. And after a while they would the kids would bring, lettuce and stuff for it to eat. And it would come out and it made friends with them. And, so it was a cute little story. And of course, when the kids told their parents, we met a Stegosaurus and, he's over in this quarry area and da-da-da. Of course, the parents didn't believe them, thought they had sunstroke, made them, lie in a darkened room and all that. And, and I forget the ending. I know it had something to do with the Stegosaurus having to go away. I think it was because more people were going to come to the area and it would, destroy his home, so he, left. But it was, such a cute story, though, that these two kids just met the Stegosaurus and became friends with it.
So while kids are real into the whole dinosaur thing, the other thing that kids really, really love, at least I did as a kid, astronomy. Guys, you guys need to subscribe to DJ Ronnie G. He does these streams where he does some astronomy talk that I think is the most awesome thing. I don't know what the program is that he uses to show, stellar positions and stuff like that. It's really good stuff. You should go check it out. And he does these great live streams. And then he does you know, where he's building stuff and whatnot. It's a great channel. I would encourage you, please go check him out. And Jesse Guajardo says, Troy, did you have the dinosaur toys from Mark's company? Can you drop a link? Because I'm not. I even tried looking it up, and I don't know what you're referring to. But if you drop a link, you know, I can go and check that out and see what that is. I
make sure they're a wrench so they can drop a link.
It doesn't matter. You can drop it, and I can copy and paste it.
No, if you are not a wrench, you cannot drop links.
Ooh, okay. Jesse, you are about to become a blue wrench.
It's like, trust me. No.
There we go. And you just became a member of the staff here, Jesse Guajardo. And I should have done that a while ago. You're like always here. And for crying out loud, my boss in the Klingon Empire, I pretty much need to give a wrench to. I'm not on live chat on YouTube. Darn it. That's why I can't see everything.
That's your problem.
I know what she's going to say, too. I'm not even looking at the screen right now, so I can't see the chat, but I know what she's going to say. She's going to say, oh, don't give me a wrench. I might screw something up.
Now, the only thing you can do is drop links. You can put people in times out if they're being naughty.
Naughty.
Thank you, Disney Sheepherder, for dropping DJ Ronnie's. Yeah, you know, you guys with the blue wrenches, you guys, it's just a rush. Let's see who can get somebody's link in there first, right? Hey, hopla. You are good people there, absolutely. So, this may be. Well, you know what? Okay, Netter gives me grief about this because I go back and forth. When you have a recipe, right, there's the Italian way and there's the following the recipe way, right?
What's the Italian way?
Oh, you use a little of this and a little of that, and you know, you kind of know just by feel.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What about consistency?
Yeah. It's a pinch. It's a
It's
skosh.
a pinch. It's a skosh or whatever, you know. And if you're experienced enough, you know how to look. You know how to put the spices into the palm of your hand, and well, that's too much. There we go. That's enough, right? You know, that's not something you can teach. That's something you need to learn by experience, right? When it comes to drinks, I tend to go the Italian way, and I go, oh, I like the bourbon. Little bit of soda. You know, I mean, that kind of a thing. This time, I followed the recipe to the letter, and it's kind of yum. It's kind of yum. I know, Netter, you don't care for bourbon.
I didn't like the
no. It's not bourbon. It's brandy.
Brandy,
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the other one that I really liked that you had recently was that Elvis Presley one. That one I
still
liked.
Got half a bottle there. I'll tell you what, you're going to have to help me polish that off because it's just so sweet. I have more problem with sweet than I do with alcohol. I really do. It messes me up. Hell, I'd love to get drunk with you one night, Netter. It's been a long time since we've done that.
You should watch a movie while getting drunk.
Are you
Caddyshack.
Are you saying we should Netflix and chill? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
I don't
clean
do
off the couch with all your action figures and doodads there, so we can turn it this way, so we can watch the TV and relax. Because right now,
that's pretty good incentive, my friends. Let me tell you.
It's not a daybed. What is it? It's a futon. You know, it's a couch, but it's a futon, and we've got it up against one wall next to Troy's miniature office here. And we moved it there originally so that when we had guests over, there was like more floor space.
But since 2019, we haven't had guests.
Yeah. So he's got like all his action figures and things piled up on it, and it's like, you take all that stuff off and you put it where it belongs, and we move the couch then so it's actually facing the TV, and we can be comfy.
Netter, let me tell you, I hadn't mentioned this to you, so I'm going to mention it now.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking about this when I was mixing my drink earlier, and
That you want to drink more?
well, yes, that is true. But besides that, what I want to do is not only get this room. I'm so glad you guys can't see this room. It's a mess.
It's a basement, so you know what basements look like.
Yeah. Not to mention the basement of a guy who's got like 12 different,
Projects going on.
And yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got.
I've got half of an Ewok village built. I've got the whole dining room table is taken up with a half built diorama of the Star Wars Cantina.
Up on the living room floor, my library, he's got the beginnings of some diorama.
The Jabba's palace.
You gotta start. You finish what you start, man.
But here's the thing: if I can get this basement, which is where I am right now, you guys may or may not
we have
know this.
our basement is half finished, half unfinished. So we're of course in the finished part.
If I can get this finished part, cleaned up, what I want to do is I want to move the Canarble Wagon from upstairs to downstairs, so you can actually see the Canarble Wagon, and I can drink more too.
Well, technically, we can move it down here and we can put it behind me. Technically.
How would you get at the refrigerator?
It would be back here.
Oh, by the snacks there. Yeah, which we also need to come up with a better place for. I've got some
snack
plans.
box needs to go back
in the
over here where it used to
spring.
be.
In the spring, we're gonna do some stuff here,
Okay.
and you probably better hold me to that.
Yeah, because otherwise you won't.
She's my girl. She keeps me honest.
My plan is to take everything out of your side of the unfinished part, bring it all out here, rearrange some shelving and stuff that's in there, and then put things back so that it makes sense.
I dig it.
And then tidy up my side of the unfinished basement, which is mostly boxes I need to break down for eBay sales.
So Matthew Flynn says over the past 3 to 4 months, I've been getting into Warhammer 40K, both the lore and the minis, and I can say, Corn, don't know what you're saying there, would 100% be Klingon God if he was in Star Trek. Okay, it's a character from 40K. Matthew Flynn, and I hate to. I know
what you're gonna say.
I'm not sure you do.
Okay.
If you really are getting into the minis and all that kind of stuff, I highly recommend you start looking into 3D printing and 3D modeling, so that you can make your own stuff or print stuff that's online. It's.
I love 3D
totally
printing. He needs to give me more to do.
You may not realize this, Netter, but I just bought for less than $10 some 3D printing. What are they called? Models or whatever for D&D. Because I expect that someday we will get ourselves a resin printer. So I'm going to need your help in learning, or, if you learn how to do this.
I can print them on my current DE printer, and then we get the laser, what'd you say, laser printer?
No, resin printer.
Resin printer. I can print them again in there, but in the meantime, you have something you can use, and I can print because I want to print things.
Well, and the other thing is I need to finish up this diorama of the cantina so I can free up the table so that I can actually start having live D&D games.
Are you gonna put the holiday special bartender lady in there in your cantina?
Say again?
The bartender.
No, actually, I originally intended to do that. I decided not to.
Okay.
So the holiday special implies that Wooher's cantina, which is the cantina you see in A New Hope,
yes,
is the same one you see in the holiday special. I don't think that's true because the setup is all wrong. It's different. Canon kind of says they're the same, but Akmina is the bartender in the evenings when, Wooher or whoever it is the bartender during the day or whatever. I don't buy that because the whole setup of the bar is completely different. I think it's a different bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mini diorama for Akmina. That's just my plan. Jesse, really, I gave you the blue wrench so you could drop a link. Drop a link so I can see what those look like. Those dinosaurs. And welcome, Tim Hayes. Been chatting with you a little bit on the Twitter tweets today. Thanks so much for being here. You are an awesome friend in the toy community. Super appreciate you. I'm sorry. You guys are having a side conversation. That's perfectly fine.
Tim Hayes is saying live D&D games, live streaming them.
So here's what we've been doing ever since 2020. Ever since 2020, my D&D group, which always used to meet in my house, I have a whole D&D setup. You know what I should do is on the MeWe group, I think I'll post the pictures of. I have one wall that is all of these big portrait maps that one of my players, well, he's the DM now. You know how these D&D groups go. He created this whole campaign world, and he made these maps of his campaign world. And he had the artwork professionally done. And I've got the posters hanging up on my wall. I should share these with all you guys. Yeah, we haven't met since 2020. We've been doing it, I want to say weekly, online, using, we use D20 and some other, platforms online ever since the whole COVID bullshit. But we haven't gotten around to getting back together again. So it's been kind of convenient. One of our players has like a whole brood of kids. So it's good for him to be able to, multitask and, from home and whatnot. So one of the guys lives like 4 blocks from me, so we could get together anytime.
What's funny is the guy with the gaggle of kids, his daughter that recently got married, she actually posted on Facebook, you know how someone will put like, in our day, we drank from the water hose and we did this and we stayed out when the lights came on, we came inside and stuff. She posted that on her page, and I'm looking at it going, God, you're way too young for any of that stuff. You don't know what drinking out of a water hose is or any of this other stuff and that's going on. And even her mom was just kind of like LOLing her because it's like, lol. Because it's like, she's just not old. She's like late 20s or something. It's like, you're not old enough to even know about any of this stuff.
So, Tim Hayes shares that his Stan Solo custom Dagobah training Luke Skywalker and removable mask Darth Vader. Let me pause there. I didn't know that Stan Solo had a removable mask Darth Vader. Have shipped from Stan Solo. Looks like John Kelly in the USA got them shipped from Chris Smith as usual. Yeah, because Stan Solo is in UK, and his affiliate here in the US is Chris Smith. Those of you that are into retro style 5 POA Star Wars figures, definitely check out Stan Solo. Definitely. And I've got a couple of videos up about some of the custom figures that I have, including this one that I am painting myself. Recognize that figure?
It's the Julia Child character.
Yep. Gormanda played Whip Stir from the holiday special. Not quite finished with her, obviously. You can see by the unpainted head, but I will get that done very soon and get it on a card because I've got to fill out my holiday special collection, and probably one of the best videos on my channel, the one that's gotten the most views and the most shares, is my holiday special figure Kenner advertisement parody. So I'm going to have to do a new one with some of the new figures. Absolutely. Yes, Jesse Guajardo, we will be talking about that on Sunday on
We will?
Teasers.
Did you post the link for it in the notes? I'll do it if you haven't.
I don't know, and I'm not clear-minded enough to
I'll send you an article on it.
Send me an article, because we need to talk about that. Absolutely.
Probably coming out for a console I don't own. Anyway, so what was I going to say, though? I did want to mention to you what
Somebody mentioned at the 59-minute mark, we are doing a send-up to Retro Blasting Michael French. He is awesome. Friend of the channel who's been on here multiple times. We got to get him back here to talk about James Bond. And because I got busy working on getting the stream up today, I was real busy at work today.
I started book number 5 from Russia with Love this past week. So
From Russia with Love, Okay. I did that a couple weeks ago.
I always thought that was Sinatra, and then I found out, no, not even close. Not Sinatra, but I always thought it was Sinatra that sang that. That was President Kennedy's favorite book, if memory serves.
Was it really? I did not know that. That's a great
or one of his favorites, at least. It was popular when he was president. He liked it a lot. It's a great read so far. I don't want to spoil it. Maybe I'll talk about it on the stream if we get to a Bond stream, but it's let's just say we're getting to see things from the Soviet perspective at the beginning of the book. Instead of it being like the British perspective, M and all that, you're seeing the Soviet side of things, and it's interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that, and let's face it, you guys all know that I'm very much that I'm that Rat Pack kind of fan. You know, the fedora, the Italian, the singing and whatnot. But yeah, it's not all Sinatra. There's
there are many other singers.
And look, even in Star Trek, even in the Star Trek universe, you have James Darren. You know, the who played the character Vic Fontaine. He even put out albums under the name Vic Fontaine. Definitely worth checking out. Very much in that Rat Pack kind of style, and it was implied that he was a member of that Rat Pack in that universe. You know, singing at the Sands. I'm trying, and you know what? Let me reach out to the community here. If you guys can help me out here, I've done my my Google Foo to the best of my ability. I'm trying to find like floor plans or good pictures and whatnot of the Sands Hotel, especially the theater, because I want to recreate it in The Sims. If y'all can help me out,
Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas, absolutely. It doesn't exist.
He doesn't ask the person who's got the Google Foo who always does this stuff.
Yeah. No, you're right. Can't find any floor plans for sure.
Is there a particular year?
Before it was torn down, so I'm too fuzzy to remember. I'm lucky if I can remember my own birth date. I have considered 3D printing, but I don't have one. Also, it's pronounced corn, blood, for the blood god skulls and the skull throne. Okay. But keep in mind, I'm at the brown mumbler stage, second drink, so I'm...
Okay, I'll send you the link. I found the floor plans.
No shit. Look, this is why I married her, because she's friggin' awesome.
Architectural drawings of Sands Hotel, Las Vegas, additions and alterations, ultimate development plans, second floor plan, tower plans, February 5th, 1964.
I spent days looking for that kind of stuff.
And you should have asked me.
Yeah, I should have. She's, look, People ask me, after 31 years of marriage, what's the secret of our success?
I'm the
Realizing
finder.
how lucky you are and treating your partner accordingly. That's the secret of your success. Yes, I agree with you, Evelyn. Yay, Netter. Yeah. So yeah, you did come in late. Let me share this with you, buddy, because not everybody knows this. I am reading from an article by Lauren Vieira from 2011. Friday at 5 o'clock, a cocktail to kick off the weekend. Today's cocktail is a brown mumbler, one of the debut drinks mixed by the gentleman behind the traveling Hornswogler Arts Bar. More on them Thursday. Okay, whatever. Not unlike the Wisconsin Old Fashioned, featured back in September, the brown mumbler allegedly originates in northern Wisconsin, whose natives must like their drinks sweet. Wow. Yeah, it is kind of a sweet drink. There we go. Hornswoggler's version took the sweetness to the next level with the addition of Werther's original caramels. Oh, that's interesting. Attribute to the fact that the name conjures a mumbling old man who might enjoy the candies. Essentially, a Manhattan made with brandy, right? Or sweeter whiskey instead of rye or bourbon. The mumbler hasn't caught on so much in Chicago bars. True, I have to educate people in the Chicago bars on what it is. Though we did find one on the menu at Champagne's Boltini Lounge. Boltini manager Rob Tobias said he added it back in 2003 after a regular suggested it. I didn't look it up, Tobias said, which is why his turned out more like a classic Manhattan. Booker's 127 proof bourbon via sweet vermouth, a dash of bitters. Yeah, don't put bitters in your brown mumbler. And a brandied cherry. I've got 2 in here. In Tobias's mind, the name speaks to his drink's strength, which is true. You drink 1, you're fine. You drink 2, you're mumbling. We limit people to 2 of them. The true Wisconsin brown mumbler is a bit less refined, below is the recipe, and it's what I shared at the beginning of the stream. 3 ounces Christian Brothers brandy, not a sponsored stream. 1 ounce sweet vermouth. I am using Cokie Americano, still not a sponsored stream. Dash of soda. I'm drinking a Diet Squirt, and it says in a rocks glass. I think this is technically a Tom Collins glass, which happens to be my father's name. No connection.
Right.
And I'm almost down to those cherries. I've been...
And the reason why he add the cherries is because, he figures the fruit is healthy.
That makes it a health drink. Absolutely true. That's absolutely true. So there you go.
Jesse Grotto posted something.
I was in my notes, so let me get back to the chat. Give me a second here.
Don't forget, I got to tell you about my eBay purchase, but we can wait till after you look at these.
No. This is this. Okay, I'm having a hard time figuring out how to get a link with the phone. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know you were on a phone. But the YouTuber by the name of Michael Dodd goes over vintage toys from Marks and many others. So because I don't ask much of my blue wrenches. It's been a long time since we've had to deal with trolls and and bots and whatnot. If one of you guys could do the legwork for Jesse and based on that information find the dinosaur toys he's talking about, drop me a link so I can look at it. I'll bring it up on screen and whatnot. I'd super appreciate that.
Hold up. What dinosaur toys? Dinosaur toes.
Yeah.
That could be a toy. Dinosaur toes. Guess the toe.
Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Wait, I need to know what toys.
Yeah, it never dawned on me. Some
Actually,
of y'all
put
are
a
on
link in, so let's see.
Some of y'all are on your phones and whatnot.
Okay, Jesse, you did drop the link. It's the World of Dinosaurs YouTube video.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. So let me bring
you
this
got
up.
it.
Oh, okay. Let me share my screen so you guys. You know what? Let me blow this up so you guys can see what we're talking about here. How do I do this? Because I'm freaking blitz now. Go away. Present. Share screen. Entire screen. That screen. There we go. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Okay, so I have to say no to your original question. If I had these, I did not have these specifically. However, what I did have was so similar that it doesn't really matter. I didn't have like this mat that you probably put them on or whatnot. I didn't have like the trees
Look at that.
and stuff like that, and I think I had more colors than these three, but the basic scale.
Hold on, let me look at these.
And the fact that these were hard plastic, yes, I did have something very, very similar. Those of you that have gotten like the tumblers of these types of plastic toys, like army men and monkeys and aquatic creatures and stuff, that's kind of like what I had.
I want to say I had a couple of these smaller type figures. They didn't look exactly like this, but they were smaller, and maybe they were indeed plastic, or maybe they were still rubber. I don't remember. I know I had the larger rubber ones too, because I know rubber. It was all about the rubber for the dinosaurs in the '80s. But yeah, interesting.
No. Michael Dodd is not someone who has been here in the chat. He's talking about a company that puts out these toys.
Are those primates in there too? Am I seeing that?
Let me see here.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like what do you call those?
Lemurs?
No. Those are supposed to be like cavemen type things.
They weren't around during dinosaurs.
I know, but some of these dinosaurs were not. Well, some of these actually aren't dinosaurs in the true sense, and they didn't exist in the same epoch. So,
I see.
Yeah.
This is like the.
If Dron were here, he could tell us. He could tell us which ones existed with which ones. At least I like to think so. But
look at that! Isn't that nice though? That vintage storage box, huh? You were a kid, you'd lay out the playmat and have yourself a ball.
Look, although this particular box set was not something that I had gotten, I totally get how people have these very, very personal relationships with time period and certain toys. That's a big part of the toy community. Tim Hayes can tell you about that. Definitely Michael French can tell you about that. Michael French, I get the impression, is a little bit younger than I am, but we've definitely chewed some of the same ground as far as toys go. He's an even older soul than I am, and he's younger than I am.
Possibly. Yeah, I don't know how old he is. He could also look young for his age, too. That can happen.
That bastard.
Anyway, it's funny you brought him up. I actually, for some reason, I clicked on YouTube earlier. It was a Kylie Minogue a video, and I actually agree with him. She could have played Lara Croft. She had the chops for it. I think they had cast her. She could have done it. Yeah.
I'll take your word for that. The only thing that I know about Kylie Minogue is
she was in great shape. I'll say that.
I get the
She could
impression.
dance
Well, she seems like a fairly attractive woman.
No, she's good looking too, but yeah, no, I thought maybe just physicality though. I think she could have done a lot of
The only
stunts
thing I know about her was her one appearance in Doctor Who, and the fact that Netter and I had a friend, a gay friend. I think that's relevant. Who was a huge Kylie Minogue fan,
right?
And if you talk about Gaby, it was Donna Summer that he adored.
No. He was into all the gay icons. So yeah, Kylie Minogue was another one.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. I think my great grandparents had something like that. Dude, you're much younger than I must have thought. Screw you. You're an asshole. Youth is wasted on the wrong people. I'm drunk, so I'm being an asshole. But that's why you guys buy me drinks, to get me drunk, so that I can be an asshole. It's funny how some kids have Hasbro G.I. Joes, but I had Timmy Green and Tan Army Men. Oh, Jesse, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. And I'll tell you what, if you don't know what he's talking about, go watch Toy Story. You'll know what he's talking about. I had some of those. A buddy of mine had a huge bucket of it, and he had like all the accessories. He had the cannon where it was spring loaded and you'd shoot. Yeah. But if you're not if you're subscribed to my channel and you're not subscribed to Retro Blasting, I think I bring him up like almost every stream, for crying out loud. You really should be. But yeah, he talks about and Analog Toys. Analog Toys is the other one. He's into Action Man, and I don't remember what the other British line was that's related to G.I. Joe. Definitely should check that out.
Okay, I'm dropping you a crap ton of links for the Sands Hotel. Some are floor plans that are drawn. Some are pictures of the interior of just like the hotel stuff, but you might find what you're looking for in there.
She wants me to get back into playing The Sims because she knows how much money I spent on it.
On what, The Sims?
Yeah, because The Sims, you buy the individual packages and download.
Right.
Yeah.
Do they have...
Some of the stuff is interesting.
I do too. No, I mean, I'm joking, of course. The Sims aside, the Sands. I wish I was old enough to have been able. Well, if I was old enough to have, gone to the Sands, I'd probably be dead now. But I wish I could go back in time and see, the Rat Pack at the Sands. I had something like that as a kid, only I think they were green and... Yeah. See, I know exactly what you're talking about. I ended up using them as a Civil War project. My grandfather painted them blue and gray for... Oh, gosh, that's interesting. Making Army Men toy and some of the stuff that they... 1/18th scale. Yeah. I see what you're saying. And there's CK. Oh, yeah. Welcome, CK. Good to see you, my friend.
Oh. All right.
I'm at the bottom of my drink, so I can have my 2 drunken cherries. Give me a second.
The cherries are more drunk than you are.
Look, they've been sitting in the freezer in whiskey for about 6 months.
They're very drunk.
Are they tasty?
They are really good. I know if you're not a drinker, you're thinking, oh, cherries soaked in whiskey. They are smooth. They are soft. They were frozen when they went into that drink. Now they're kind of like room temperature.
So that means that the cherries actually help keep your drink cool.
That's the plan, exactly. But those are
okay. With all the links I sent you, see if those work for you. If not, I'll search more.
Okay, and I'll look after the stream, of course. But
so when you were a kid playing,
smart ass.
when you were a kid playing with the dinosaurs, you just say "roar" or something like that, just as a kid, just like when they were attacking each other.
I got to be honest. When it came to dinosaur play, I was not as. I didn't play with them the way most kids did. I thought in terms of diorama.
What?
And I thought action. Yeah. I know, I'm weird.
It surprises me you never got into Lego. Maybe it was out of maybe you're old. Maybe you were too old by the time they started getting more elaborate.
No, not really. When I was very young, I got a Lego set, and it was a fairly modern style house,
right?
With the not attached garage, but like the I don't know what you call it, the enclosure that goes over. You pull up to the side of the house, and there's a covering.
Oh, it's kind of like a lean-to, only it's not a lean-to.
No. I'm having a hard time describing it, but anyway, it was a very, very 70s modern house style, and I was very meticulous. Huh?
Carport.
Yes, carport with a attachment to the house that came up and over it. I didn't play with it like most kids played with Legos. You make the thing that it's supposed to be, and then you use them as raw materials to make whatever you imagine. No. I used to make and destroy and remake as though it was a puzzle this house that I had the instructions for. I couldn't get outside of I don't know. I'm a weirdo. But yeah, that was the extent of my Lego experience. And Lego is very blocky. It's the difference between modern 3D games, first person type things, and Minecraft.
Right. So you wanted the stuff that looked more accurate.
I wanted the Star Wars figures. I did not want, the Lego stuff.
Right.
And that's why I went that way. And it sounds like Michael from Retro Blasting is the same way. The only reason he's gotten into Legos now is because he can't get the world building from Indiana Jones from Hasbro.
No.
So he's turned to Lego, and he's got a great video where he builds the tank from Last Crusade. And it's a custom build. It's a custom, the Lego community has these people that come up with these brilliant ideas and put together recipes and the instructions to build their own custom crap. And he did that, and it's a good video, so you should definitely check that out.
All right, cool.
So I didn't play with my toys much either, just liked collecting them. Yeah, I was, it took me a long time to get to that point. Kind of wish I had some of the toys that I played with now in my collection. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. That's awesome. Didn't like Legos. Never got why anyone wanted toys with extra studs and cracks. Yeah, no, I get it.
All right. It may be an aesthetic thing. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I know with me, I got into the castle system because I'm sorry, when I got into the castle system at that time.
Explain what the castle system is.
The castle system is medieval style Legos with knights on horseback, kings, castles, battering rams. You could buy smaller things like a blacksmith shop or a armory.
Okay.
I remember I built a whole, and what I was able to do when I kept buying all these sets, you could connect them, and I had a whole medieval village going on, and I thought that was really cool. And I'm sorry, at the time, I didn't know anyone else who was doing any kind of for kids medieval toys with a medieval theme. I couldn't think of anything like that was more like you're like England and Europe, medieval style toys, and I thought this was really neat. And I even remember I got a catalog in the mail once, and I had to save my money, and I had to mail in for this because this was a catalog exclusive. But it was a medieval inn, like, you know, which was really neat. And later on, I think I had some space system sets, which I wasn't as big a fan of the space system as I was the castle system. But there were cool things about the space system, like it had this cool, I want to say, acrylic plastics in it, like would have like a, you know, like these neat translucent plastics for like the covers of ships and stuff, which I thought was neat. And I don't know. I think I like the idea that I was constructing what was on a box. So you would follow the instructions and you're going to recreate what was on the box. And I thought that was neat. It was almost like putting a puzzle together. Yeah.
No, you're exactly right. That's what I was saying. It was like a puzzle more than a toy. You know, I don't get the toy element of it. You know?
And then later on, the pirate system had just gotten introduced. I bought some of that. I think I even got one of the pirate ships. But then the NES, we got an NES, and I kind of transitioned from Lego to video games at that point. But that's what happened there. But I remember one of my last Castle System sets was actually, I think it was called the Rogue's Hideout. And you know what that was supposed to be, right? It was Robin Hood and his merry men.
I
They
did.
even had they had the same kind of pointed caps like Robin Hood had. You could put feathers in them, and it was like it was basically Robin Hood. I thought that was neat, and it was all like tree based, like Lego trees and stuff.
Sure.
That was neat. I thought that was neat. But
I ask for my so welcome Samuel Proctor. I see what you did. You came late in the stream, so you didn't have to listen to me singing. I get you. I asked for my Legos for Christmas, and Dad would build it for me until I was 10. Okay, I get that. That's fair. He used Gorilla Glue. Sometimes something we would soon regret. Look, I get that because there are videos on YouTube of people who have built these very intricate, like this huge, what do you call it? The Millennium Falcon or whatever. And they're holding it and they're displaying it and they drop it and it shatters. I get that. Sometimes, just like with posters, you may want to, with puzzles, you may want to treat them like posters, and you glue them together, and you're done, and then you frame them and put them up on the wall. I get that. That's
It's
fine.
like if you go to the Lego store. I'm not sure if all of them are like this, but the Lego store downtown Chicago, they had. I think when we went, I want to say that they had a stormtrooper. Like in the front,
Yes.
in the front.
Yes.
All those pieces were glued together so that kids couldn't knock them out, or if they knocked it over, the thing was
because
not
those
gonna
little fuckers. Did you see the video that's going around of the
No.
kid at Disney World or Disneyland or whatever, who like tries to take the gun from the stormtrooper's holster and then he
Yikes.
pushes him?
yikes, that's
What
horrible.
the fuck, dude? Like, you know,
Watch your
pay
kids.
attention. Watch your kids. You. Oh, jeez.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what I want to mention though? We had there was a kind of like a Kmart knockoff chain up in Jersey at the time called Bradley's, and I remember we went into a Bradley's one time and they had a Lego display up in there, and these were like full size recreations of the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. I think.
Ooh,
I mean,
nice,
not full
nice.
size, but they were very large. You know, the Columbus ships.
So
and
when
I thought that was really neat. Yeah.
when Pirates of the Caribbean was real popular, there was a bunch of Lego, you know, ships, you know, the ships from I barely remember, you know, the Pirates of the Caribbean, but the ships from that film, Lego had, you know, and I bought a couple of them because I was doing a pirate themed D&D story, and it was perfectly in scale with the D&D miniatures. It was actually pretty cool, and my party, my players really enjoyed that. Hasbro doesn't want to get into play sets anymore. Well, Jesse, I really should do a stream about this, or maybe a video or something, but I don't understand what the... Well, you know what? Tune in Sunday on Geeky Geezers. We will be talking about Hasbro, because they are struggling because they hitched their sale to Disney, which is dying, and it's killing Hasbro too. Well,
it's the fault of the toxic fans.
We have been talking about the missteps on Hasbro's part throughout the past year, but we'll be talking specifically about the loss of revenue because they're trying to sell things like Ahsoka toys and sequel trilogy toys and whatnot, and they're not friggin' selling. I've been talking about that for a while, actually, but Hasbro's going friggin' broke. Go woke, go broke. I'm not even saying Hasbro's gone woke. I'm just saying they have no choice but to support these woke brands, and it's killing them. But
because they have a contract, right?
Exactly. But the biggest problem is Hasbro has not paid attention to... Look, what did Santayana say? If you don't learn from history, you are destined to repeat it. Hasbro is repeating the history without having learned it. Back in the 70s, under the administration of Jimmy Carter, we had a terrible petroleum shortage, and gas prices went through the roof. And when gas prices go through the roof, that also means plastic becomes very expensive, because you may not realize this, but plastic is a petroleum product. So during the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, we saw the action figures go from 12-inch scale G.I. Joe and Barbie to 9-inch scale Mego and Super Joe figures. Google it. To the 3 3/4 inch. The first one was Kenner's Star Wars figures. And then we started getting everything coming out in the 3 3/4 inch action figures. Those of you that aren't super into toys, do a little Googling. G.I. Joe 12-inch figures in the 60s and early 70s. You could get vehicles, you could get accessories, you could get all kinds of crap, right? But the problem is, those are... Think about a Jeep in the scale of a 12-inch Barbie or G.I. Joe. That's big. That's a lot of plastic. Mm-hmm. And when it's expensive because of, Jimmy Carter, people can't afford it, right? So they said, well, let's go to 9-inch. And that was kind of pushed by Mego with their World's Greatest Superheroes and so on and so forth. Well, I forget who it was that owned the rights to G.I. Joe at the time, put out Super Joe. It was basically G.I. Joe, but smaller. And instead of being, super into military and different eras of military and so forth, he was more modern day. He was an archaeologist. He was, a rescue, whatever, fighting aliens and that kind of stuff.
And his name was Super Joe.
It was Super Joe, absolutely.
That's interesting to me.
That was the transition to what most of y'all know about G.I. Joe, which was the 3 3/4 inch figures, which did one step beyond the 5 POA of the Star Wars figures. They had bendable wrists and bendable knees with little rivets, right? Guys, go check out Retro Blasting. They do all the whole history on this kind of stuff. They talk about Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers, which used very similar, figure types to the G.I. Joes. But look, I have been saying for a long time, why the fuck are we still doing 6-inch action figures? Why aren't there more 3 3/4 inch action figures? Hasbro decided to do something fucking brilliant. I'm being sarcastic in case you can't tell the booze. They decided to try and do a crowdfund, their HasLab bullshit, to finance a 6-inch 6-inch action figure scale snow speeder, and it got past the threshold, and there's some fuckers out there that bought this thing, but it's like, where the fuck are you going to store that thing? That thing's got to be 6-inch scale. It's got to, oh gosh, you can't even see it on my camera. It's like this big. It would go off. If I had it hanging on the wall, it would go off the camera. That's how big this fucker is. It's like, I
mean like the sail barge or your what's the over here?
But that's the only reason I can have the sail barge and the
Razor Crest?
Razor Crest. God, thank you, because you're sober, The only reason I can have those is because they're in the scale with the 3 3/4 inch figures. If they were in scale with 6-inch action figures, they'd be twice as big. Right now, I wouldn't be able to see my TV because of the size of the Razor Crest would have to be. It's crazy. So, yeah. And it's also the economy of I can buy more because of the scale. And I had predicted a long time ago that we were going to do this again, and Hasbro's like, fuck that. I'm going to sell to, 50-year-old people that, are buying for nostalgia reasons. And it's like, well, I wonder why you're going bankrupt now, you fuckers. Congratulations. You're fucking brilliant. Toy part are, yeah, minifigs. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I still buy 3 3/4 inch toys like Mattel Jurassic World toys. Yeah. Tell me what you thought about that crowdfund they were trying to do with the re-release of the T-Rex and the gate and the all the other shit, and the only thing that was new was like some foliage and bullshit. Yeah. These guys, I'm telling you.
You think they're jokers, huh?
I really do. Back in 2015, Hasbro did terrible job with Jurassic World line. I went with 2015 Lego. Yeah. So you have a lot in common with Michael French. I get that.
So Lego is producing better Jurassic Park toys than the company that Jurassic Park licensed to make regular figures with. Because I know those Jurassic Park figures were big in the 90s, right?
And you could say the same thing about Lego with the Indiana Jones stuff, because they're doing a lot more world building. They're putting out all the what would you call them? The play sets. What would be considered play sets if they were action figures, I collect Transformers, G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, Mask, Thundercats, Wheeled War. I don't know what Wheeled Warriors is. All 80s action figures that had a support animated series. That's my primary. I'm with you. I dig it. Samuel Proctor says, my dad still wants to get the Lego X-Wing. He had a model X-Wing in the 80s. That reminds me of, let me tell a quick story. So the year that Empire Strikes Back came out, I had wanted a... Look, the Kenner item that people wanted was the Empire Strikes Back Star Wars AT-AT, right? The all-terrain armored transport. I wanted that so bad. Come Christmas Day, what my mom got me was the Ertel model of the AT-AT. And it was nowhere near the scale. And I was disappointed.
Okay.
But I did what you're supposed to do. I was thankful. I was appreciative and so forth. I ended up building that model. I enjoyed the model, but it was not
the big fancy toy.
No. 2 weeks later, on my birthday, guess what I got for my birthday?
The actual action figure.
Yeah.
Was there an explanation?
Yes. Many years later, I did not understand, but many years later when I was, a teenager, effectively an adult, my mother explained that I had not been good that year. And she didn't feel that I deserved it for Christmas. but she also didn't want to completely withhold it from me, so she gave it to me for my birthday.
Huh.
And I guess it worked out because I guess my reaction to it was satisfying to her. So, there you go.
Did you try setting the cat on fire or something like that? I don't know.
We didn't have. The only pet I had growing up was two different goldfish, goldfish, and a hermit crab. I was never. Yeah, it wasn't until I got married that I was able to have a couple of cats.
Okay.
And a couple of rabbits actually.
No, that's nice. Rabbits are fun.
We keep talking about getting a dog, but we just don't get around to it.
Well, before we get a dog, we have to clean up this area.
She's not wrong. She is not wrong at all.
Because my thought is, I'd love to get a dog, but we need a place to put a pet
Where
dog.
the fuck is he gonna go? There's no room. We're fucking hoarders here.
Yeah. Dogs need a place to sleep, and they like to walk around. They like to wander. Dogs like to wander too.
I don't have a big house. It's a tiny.
But
little...
we have a really big backyard. Yeah, it's like our house is.
We have a tiny little ranch house.
Yeah, it's like 920 square feet supposedly according to the plans. But we have a huge backyard, so plenty of room for the dog.
Actually, if we get a dog that requires being walked every day, that would be exercise.
Yes, you have to walk your dog. Put the leash on, and if you're going in public areas, you got to bring the poop bag with you too.
Okay.
Your own property. That's
so,
whatever you want.
tell me, when you say the superpower figures, are you talking about the original or the new ones? They are not the same scale, and I am pissed about that. And actually, Michael has a video about that too. Okay, you guys talking to each other, which is
so. Do you want to hear what I got off of eBay?
Yes, please tell me.
Okay, so a while back, many years ago, before I got a Blu-ray player, I got a upscaling DVD player by Sony, and it was different from the other DVD players I had by Sony, as like it was almost half the size, right? But it's a good DVD player. Basically, what upscaling does is it takes your old DVDs and converts the image to 1080p on an HD TV. Does it look as good as a Blu-ray? No. But does it look pretty good? Yes, especially if it's a newer DVD, which was released alongside the Blu-ray.
Sure.
Pretty good. And I started thinking a while back that, yeah, Blu-rays can play DVDs, but I kind of like to have another one of these DVD players, right? So I went on Amazon and I bought the same model again, and it came in the mail, and it was basically junk. I think the quality had gone down over at Sony for this particular type of upscaling DVD player. Instead of having a metal shell, it was plastic. I put a DVD in there, and I heard whirring. It was making a ton of noise, and I'm like, this is going back to Amazon. I'm not keeping this thing. This is defective.
Yep.
So then I started thinking, well, I know what kind of, I have to buy one of these. Let me scope out eBay for a while, okay? And I tried looking for the kind of model I had, which was the smaller model, but it was different than the one I got because it had component jacks on the back. That's how you can tell the difference. That's the component inputs as well. And then I learned that they had an even older model of scaling DVD player released in 2008, which was more of the longer DVD players. You know, when DVD players came out, they were much wider.
Yep.
And you know why they made them wider when they first released, right?
No.
It was because many entertainment units had a special shelf in them for VCRs.
Uh-huh.
And the feeling was at the time, if people are going to replace their VCRs with a DVD player, we should make them roughly around the same size. This way they don't have to go out and buy a whole new entertainment unit, and it still looks form-fitting and nice looking, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha, you understand? Gotcha. And that makes sense, actually. That was actually rather good they did that. And the later model Sony DVD players are very thin, but they still have that wideness to it. So I went online and I saw some of these on there for like $100 or over $100. People were selling them new, but they were old, still in the box, but they were new. And that's not an awful price, but it's not as good as I would have liked. And then I found a seller selling it for under $50, brand new, and I was like, box looked beat up, but I'm like, you know what? Let's take the risk. Came in the mail today. It was shipped in the box, like with the label on the box, but the box was already beat up. And I said, let's see if the contents inside are new. And they were. It's a brand new upscaling DVD player done in the style of 2008 where it's nice and wide. And I have to tell you, what is it about the aesthetics of old electronics that maybe it's me, but they look so much better than what we get now?
I
They're very,
have to agree. 100%.
they're very sleek looking, um, very form fitting.
Because
nice.
there was this idea that it was a piece of furniture that needed to look good in your house. My mom, kind of a side story, my mom had one of those 1970s big ass, stereo.
Oh wow! Yes,
8-track player.
Yes.
There was actually supposed to be a little place in there for a bar, but she didn't use it as a bar. She used it as a place to store her media in. And it was huge. And I remember how heavy it was, helping her move it to vacuum behind it and stuff. It was just crazy. But
it was huge.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
But it was nice looking, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. Yes. And I remember her, when she would do the spring cleaning stuff, she would polish it and stuff. It had this, a lot of wood and whatnot. It was beautiful. When I was, in the 80s in high school, this is a story for another time, but how I ended up getting my own stereo. It was this upright with a glass front and very utilitarian kind of thing. Great sound, cassette instead of 8-track, but not as attractive,
No.
The only thing that was cool about it was the pretty green and red lights, but other than
I remember those.
Other than that, it wasn't, the wood paneling stuff.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, look into, do a Google search on, 70s decor and stuff. There was something to be said for that. Real quick, let me share this because Evelyn Hampton's because I was a kid in the 70s. I wasn't old enough to drive back then, so I don't remember this kind of stuff. But Evelyn Hampton said 70s gas shortage. No gas on Wednesdays. People could only buy gasoline on even or odd days, depending on their license plate number. Now, I do remember long lines on the days when you could buy gas. I do remember my parents complaining about it.
Yeah, I remember not being able to buy gas on Sundays.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, look, I'm not planning on getting too political today, but 1970s gas crisis, Jimmy Carter. Current economics, Biden. How are you going to vote this year? Just saying.
Come on. Everything's fine. I can't imagine why Americans are all upset.
I still have my G.I. Joe Adventure Team mobile command center vehicle. For the 12-inch figures, absolutely. I hear what you're saying, David, there.
And certain former Republican presidents not taking his salary and instead donating it all to charity.
Oh, but fuck that guy. We gotta indict him, and we gotta try and bring him up on trumped up charges.
They're trying.
Legacy is a sublime. I don't know what we're talking about here. This isn't directed at me. I'm kind of lost. Sorry, man. Welcome, Knight of Old. Good to see you, my friend. I had some of these marks. There you go. Yeah. So I didn't recognize those specifically. They might have been a generation later than me, but they were based on the toys I grew up with. No, yeah, I get it. I like Hasbro, like the idea of having 6-inch line because vehicles and sets would go fund them. Jesse, I'm too drunk to
Okay. Legacy is a wait. Am I on the right one? Okay. I like the Hasbro liked the idea of having the 6-inch line because vehicles and sets would.
See what I mean? Yeah, there's a typo there.
Wait. they would have a GoFundMe to pay for them all.
Look, I'm in the Michael French retro blasting camp about the whole GoFundMe crowdfund concept. If you're Hasbro or Mattel, you've got more fucking money than I do. If you want to put out a toy, make the fucking toy and sell it. You should not be crowdfunding.
Well, isn't there also a problem where people don't know about the crowdfunding and then the thing sells out before people are able to get the...
That's the problem I had with the sail barge.
Yeah.
I did not know that existed until after it was over, and then I was fucked. If I wasn't married to this incredible woman who decided to buy it for me at double the price on the secondary market for our anniversary because she's a fucking goddess, there's no way I could have gotten that thing. You know, I'm pissed as hell about that. And I'll never stop talking about that.
Now here's the thing. When I found it, I found someone that was local. So it was like, I think they had like an hour drive to us. We would have an hour drive to them, like to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, yeah, I'll meet you halfway. So he drove an hour, we drove an hour. As we're getting the thing into our car, he goes, oh, by the way, I added some extra figures for you. And threw in a whole bunch of sail barge figures that Troy did not have.
Including a Save Leia.
Yeah.
Including a Slave Leia. I mean, you can't fault that. That's for damn sure.
And when he was, you know, we're talking, because we stood around, we talked a little bit afterward. The guy's like, I wanted to sell this to someone who would really enjoy it, an actual true Star Wars fan.
You got to see my reaction.
And he said, you know, I bought 2 of them because, you know, I knew that they were going to sell out. And, you know, it was just for this reason that I wanted to make sure I got to a true Star Wars fan. And it's like, and basically what we paid for both of his.
Yep.
So he got his for free.
Yeah. And I did the same thing with the Razor Crest. I got 2 of them. I sold one at double the price. Basically got mine for free. You know. Yes, I get it. Technically that's scalping. But you know what? There's people that appreciate that because, you know, if they can't raise the funds within the 30 days that the crowdfund is happening, they're hoping someone's going to fucking scalp it.
Knights of Old, I became your 850th subscriber.
Awesome, man. Please, if you can, subscribe to everybody in the chat. Everybody,
I'm grabbing his link.
Everybody link below because it really encourages the hell out of us. Jesse says, Mattel Jurassic Park gate, literally the gate that they were trying to crowdfund, was a disaster for multiple reasons. Yeah, dude. Look at the 6-inch scale Rancor from Hasbro. Fuck that bullshit. Where the fuck would I keep such a thing if I was into that scale? Jurassic World was the last era of Lego I really got. I plan to make my own Lego dioramas to decorate my bookshelf and Blu-ray shelves based on my favorite books and movies on the shelf. Dude, I totally get you. That makes perfect sense. I'm with you. I also recently started collecting the Star Wars Micro Galaxy figures. That's a challenge today because some of those old ones can be very, very expensive. Roughly 1/72nd scale. Thus far, I snagged an AT-AT, Imperial Shuttle, X-Wing, and a couple of TIE Fighters. Okay. So you're talking about the vehicles, not necessarily the figures. The figures and the play sets from like the Return of the Jedi era, they're cool, but very expensive now. Very, very expensive now. And if you're into the role-playing game, they're totally in scale with the miniatures that you would use for role-playing. I dig it, Chris. I'm with you.
Can you dig it?
I only just realized that you're using your personal name as your because just keep in mind, everybody, Chris Kent Sr., that's our D&D game, and that's longest running superhero role-playing game on Earth, and Continuum Chronicles. So make sure you're subscribed to all of those, because he's got some great content there. I personally didn't like how Mattel dropped a lot of stuff from Jurassic Park 30th anniversary, especially the 93rd wave of Kenner-inspired Jurassic Park toys. Let me tell you, Jesse, the thing that bothered me was they tried to do a crowdfund based 90% on previously released shit. Fuck those bastards. Yeah. So, okay, you guys talking to each other. Let me try to get caught up. Hasbro has a deal with Todd McFarlane now, so the newer Superpowers figures do scale with the 8. Yeah, that's fucking great. But there was a whole year where the figures didn't. I did get, the only thing that I got from those Superpowers was I got the Supermobile, and I got the Wonder Woman, what's it called? The Invisible Jet.
Oh,
Yes,
I remember the
they're not-
Invisible Jet.
They're not specifically in scale with the original 3 3/4 inch action figures, but they can easily be customizable to fit. Absolutely. You know what, Netter? Can you hand me the I think it's over there.
Tell me.
The Invisible Jet with Wonder Woman in it. I'm going to bring it up on screen.
Probably a
So
little
this
dusty.
is the current Invisible Jet, right? And fuck, I don't. Oh, there we go. And this is the 3 3/4 inch Wonder Woman. If I put her in the jet, she's about half the size she needs to be. However, you can't probably see that because the back is here. She would need to be standing or sitting like this. There's literally room to fit another action figure behind her.
Steve Trevor.
Bingo! Oh man, you and me, you and me, absolutely. I was thinking exactly that, like that animated feature, right?
Right.
So what I want to do is I'm going to customize this Invisible Jet. I'm going to get myself some plexiglass, and I'm going to divide that seat in two so that you could have 2 action figures in there.
Can you, if you have a customized Steve Trevor action figure, can you remove his head to put the head of the guy that he actually, whose body he took over? Like in the movie?
Don't even start. that movie, fucking non-canon. Fuck the whole Snyderverse, as far as I'm concerned.
I liked Ethan Van Sciver. I think he had made a joke when that movie came out, like when the guy was back to normal, would have turned out he was actually gay, and that he, it was.
What is this bullshit? We'll talk about this on Sunday, but what is this bullshit about 2 of Steve Trevor and some other fucker that was dating Wonder Woman are fucking gay?
Is
And
this
they're
a thing happening now?
Yes, and they're in a relationship together? What the fuck? Does she have like a badge of gender preference change? Fuck her. Fuck this whole DC bullshit.
You know what? This is now starting to seem more
I
like
dated Wonder Woman. Now I'm fucking gay.
this is like something you'd see on The Boys or something. Like we're just ridiculed.
Right?
It's not.
I swear I cannot keep up with DC. They are way above the curve of the Babylon Bee and bullshit. I don't know, man. It's just fucking crazy.
Don't worry, it's all gonna get fixed.
Oh yeah, because James Gunn is coming and he'll fuck it up in a whole different way. Congratulations.
We'll see. You never know.
Okay, so between trying to and look, I get it. It's not fair that we are very limited in our how much we can type into a single chat. But between that, those limitations of YouTube and the booze, it's really hard for me to follow. But I got the blue and gray Batman for Christmas and liked him. I'm guessing what you're referring to is the 3 3/4 inch during the era of the Tim Burton Batman. I don't know. I've got a lot of those figures. I love those guys. I really, really do.
Remember, what's his name? Bob, the Joker's assistant. Didn't he come with a jacket you could remove or put on?
They called him on the card. It was Killer Bob for some reason. Yes,
because no one had seen the movie yet. Probably when they were making
that was Toy. Was help me out. Was it Toy Biz that put those out?
Yeah, I think it was Toy Biz.
Got a hold of them.
I think it was Toy Biz because I bought a few of them at the time because I had Batman fever like everybody else did.
Yes, I agree with you. And I had the Batman with the utility belt that winched out of him. And,
I remember that. Yeah, I had that too.
They were terrible figures, but then they re-released them.
Didn't the Joker squirt water out of him? Is that right?
Do I remember? There was a connection to it.
Yes.
Yeah. I also noticed the new Hal Jordan scales better with 80s Hal Jordan. Don't know. So newer figures are shorter. Look, yeah, maybe they're figuring out that if you're not compatible with the old Superpowers collections, what the fuck are you doing? Really? Seriously? PlayStation. Gotcha. I don't know what we're talking about here, and I'm getting too loopy to follow.
I don't know. You keep shouting, so as soon as you start shouting, I tune you out.
I'm sorry, sweetie.
Well, we are at the midnight hour.
In fairness, she is in the same room as I am, so please, everybody, if you're the praying sort, pray for her because she's got to deal with my fucking drunk ass. I hate how they got rid of.
Yes, they did. They did really.
What
cheap.
are we talking about there?
The little light displays on the DVD player. There's a real nice one on this one. Depensec. I can't speak for Blu-ray players, but like I said, you should see if you could hunt down one of these older Sony models. You have to look on eBay though; they don't sell them in stores anymore. But nice front display, and it's with the nice LED with the lights. I don't know if it's the LCD, whatever. The lights on the chapter stop and whatnot and everything. It's nice. It's the little things, because back then they were still trying to sell DVDs and Blu-rays, and the trouble is now the big companies are kind of skirting away from that, and it's becoming more of a, I want to say, niche market. There's still plenty of Blu-rays and DVDs coming out to buy, but I don't think that's where their focus is. And then you don't see as good, at least more basic DVD players coming out. Maybe the higher-end Blu-ray players are very nice. I don't have one.
So
maybe Deleted Scenes can answer that question for me. Maybe
I want to share with the chat. I don't know. Not all of you drink alcohol, but there comes a point where you're feeling fuzzy,
yes,
and then you're fucking drunk.
Yes.
I literally just crossed that line. Just sharing with you.
Well,
so, yeah, what were you going to say?
Well, I'm just saying we are at the midnight mark, too.
We are, and I know you have to work tomorrow, so
okay.
I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible.
Just get through the chat. It's okay.
But CK is saying, Age of Boomer, new stuff is, in my honest opinion, a communist chic.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's funny because this DVD player I bought said made in Malaysia. So, it's, that's, I guess that, well, that's better than China, right?
Of this.
It's like, yes.
Yeah. So, if I miss one of your comments, I'm sorry, but I need to kind of get through them. They still make 12-inch scale G.I. Joe toys under the Click and Play or World Peacekeepers toy line. That's interesting. I didn't know that. And I don't know what Evelyn's laughing at, but I'm glad we're entertaining you. No, I am starting to slur my words for sure. How can you say you have an invisible jet if you can see it? Because it is transparent. It's more than opaque. It's transparent. So, is it invisible? No, it's visible. That's true. I'm sorry, I used the wrong name earlier. The Star Wars stuff I started collecting was Star Wars. Oh, Micro Galaxy. Yeah, no, that is on the secondary market. Too fucking expensive. Those were die-cast metal.
Yes,
painted.
I had those.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I never.
Yes. Wait a minute. Wait, are you talking about the ones with the little die-cast figures, or are you talking about the?
Yes.
Yes, I had those. I had those growing up.
Look, the great thing about those was you could buy those, and you could have like this incredible play set of Bespin.
I had Bespin and the Death Star.
Fuck you. Look,
I didn't have the Sandcrawler. I think they made a Sandcrawler. I didn't have that.
Fair enough. They came out way too late. I had already invested too much into 3 3/4.
I was a kid. I didn't have any Star Wars.
I could not go to the miniature. It was too late. And then, a decade later, when I got into role playing, and I was playing, Star Wars role playing and combat and so forth, which was in scale with those, I could not afford that bullshit on the secondary market. Fuck that bullshit.
They were not produced in high number. They didn't even make any for Jedi, at least not to my knowledge. I had.
They did not. No.
I had the neat thing about the Death Star set. Let me tell you something. You know that door that kind of, how like the door that closes, but it closes that weird angly way with the different parts coming in. They had a recreation of that in the set, and you can actually don't get your finger caught in there when you press the button to shut it.
No.
And it had the extendable bridge. It had in the Bespin set, you had like the the part where Luke gets blown out the window by Vader. You could click a switch and he'd fly out the window, and the window would open it up and he'd fly out. It was neat. It was good stuff. Those were cool toys, and I never found micro toys like that again. Not even for other brands. I don't know why. I guess they didn't catch on.
So if you are interested in that, by all means, make sure you are subscribed to Michael French of Retro Blasting. That's the channel. He is going to do in the next couple months a video about a crafter who's doing a 3D print of the Bespin micro set, but in scale with the 3 3/4. Check it out.
Interesting.
Chris Kent says the blue and gray Batman that I was referring to was the current Superpowers line. It is on sale right now. I don't know. That last sentence, I'm not sure what you're saying, but 3 3/4 inch is what we're talking about there. I get you. I get that part of it. In that case, Wonder Woman should have called in the transparent jet. Yeah, I get it. That's the funny thing, because the invisible jet shows up in the Linda Carter series, and you can kind of see the outline of it, and you can see Wonder Woman flying the ship. So literally what you see is, just like Superman flying, you see Wonder Woman flying, but she's in the seated position of the pilot position. It's what the fuck? I'm not reading too much into this.
Listen, when they made the Justice League cartoon, you know what they said? She can just fly. That's what they did. Okay? Because I think they just didn't know how to handle the invisible jet.
Yeah, no, I think they did a fine job. Look, Netta and I have the entire Linda Carter series on DVD. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's totally worth it. Chris Kent says his son, great people. I got to meet him at his vow renewal. Help me out, Chris. Was it last year or the year before? The temporal distance kind of blurs for me. My son, got me the Micro Galaxy AT-AT. Look, you know what? It's funny. I didn't even know there was a Micro Galaxy AT-AT. Let alone that, people are getting it. That's pretty cool. For Christmas, lights and sound. Holy shit, yeah. Toy Polloi has some great videos about adding lights and sound to your full size 3 3/4 inch AT-AT. Detailed interior, $50. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Reminds me of the original AT-AT. So I told you the story about getting the AT-AT as a kid. And my mom pulling the fast one on me.
Right.
And then Netter got me the 1990s
Do you want me to go get
re-release.
your AT-AT?
No, she's my friggin' enabler. She's friggin' awesome. Troy, I love the Michael French video on the Star Wars micro toys, especially the park where the mini stormtroopers are fighting the giants. I'll tell you what, Michael French has a great way of playing around with toys and screwing around. He's good people, let me tell you. Right now, Michael French has out a look. I don't know how many of y'all are into the whole anime thing. That's something I'm not familiar with, but Michael is trying to do the dive into that. And unfortunately, he started out with Evangelion.
Rabid fan base. I warned him. We'll see how it goes.
You warned him, right? Yeah. No,
I've never really
no.
watched it myself because I don't like its fan base, so I never really tried.
The thing I noticed is that the guy was a whiny little brat.
He was a whiny little fucktard, messed up.
Yes, we get those types of characters in certain animes. I do not like them. I've seen them in other shows too. Yes.
I've gotten to see the Evangelion video. I don't know if he's released it generally, but I'm a patron, so I get to see it before everyone else does. When it releases, if it hasn't released already, go check it out. If you are in any way interested in anime and Evangelion, it's a 1 hour video. It's a long video, but it is worth it. It's like 1 hour to spare you having to deal with the bullshit of the whole series of Evangelion. Have you, Boomer, do you know what Evangelion is, and have you seen it?
I own it. I just haven't watched it. It has a very rabid fan base.
Dude, start out by watching Michael's video.
We'll see.
You may or may not even want to bother watching it at this point.
Well, like I say, we'll see. I actually do own quite a bit of anime. I just haven't gotten around to watching a lot.
Samuel Proctor, I don't know for certain if it's released. I have seen it because I'm a Patreon, whatever the fuck you call it. So I don't know if it's been released generally. But
it'll come at some point, I'm sure.
Just go subscribe to Retro Blasting, and when it pops, watch it. Spend an hour watching the fucker, and you may or may not be interested in ever watching the actual show. Was better off watching the original. I think he knows that, Jesse. I think he actually knows that.
I love the UC Gundam. We watched that on Mr. Matchstick's channel. We did a rewatch of that. Of course, I'm telling you, I think the follow-up Gundam series, well, I'll find out. Some Gundam series, though, have those whiny types in them, and not the original series, but...
Chris, please go check out the video over at Retro Blasting. I'd love to hear your reaction to it. I really, really would. But there you go. I'm sorry, Boomer. We have kept you past your regular time. It is 11.
Did you want to go through the week, though?
Yeah. So, sorry, guys. We probably need to wrap this up because Boomer's leaving us. And
I'm the problem. And you don't trust yourself to be
No. You know, Netter's not wrong. I am fucking blitzed right now. And if Boomer leaves us, there's no show because he's the designated driver.
Well, I can drive. I just don't have a license.
Yeah, but no, we should probably wrap this up. So
we don't want Troy putting the Karl Marx glasses on top of his buttocks and showing them to the camera later. No, I'm sorry.
I totally could. You say that kind of shit, and I'm totally in a position to do that.
Yeah, then he's like, I got a birthmark on my butt. Let me show you.
I do, don't I? You'd know better than I would.
Oh, it's funny. I don't want to interrupt, but
No, go ahead.
That Zelda game I was playing, you meet this comely, shy young woman in the game called Paya. And they say that she was named Paya because she has a papaya seed-shaped birthmark on her. And then one of the things, like you get questions to select to ask someone, and one of the questions was, where is that birthmark? And then she gets all upset and she doesn't want to say. And then the old lady next to her says, you don't have to answer that. And she gets all stern. And of course, I found out by reading lore online, it's on one of her buttocks.
That kind of requires you to know what a papaya seed looks like to begin with.
They must have papayas in that world. Anyway, though,
I don't know what the fuck.
If I could speak my own language, if I could just talk myself in that game, I would have said, I'm the hero. I'll decide what's relevant information.
Guys, let me tell you, I believe, whether this is true or not, I'm going to encourage you. Look into role-playing games and make your own stories, because now we are fucked in terms of Hollywood and games and all the bullshit.
Well, games are mixed, but again, with the games, you almost want to look for either Japanese or indie developers a lot these days. But the independents, they're still. But
I think this sums it up. I watched it all. I have regrets. Guys, get over to Retroblast. Subscribe to Retroblasting. It's a better channel than mine. If you enjoy my channel and you are at all interested in toys, get over to Retroblasting and subscribe, and you'll thank me later. But he's got a great video. If it's not posted already, it will be coming about Evangelion. It's worth it. He watched it, so we don't fucking have to.
Why does that birth reminds me of Overboard? Is that a movie? That might have been in the movie Overboard. I don't know.
Maybe. So, tomorrow night... Yeah, tell me, Netter, because I'm drunk.
Tomorrow night, over on Netter's Network, Retro Cinema, we will be watching The Dark Crystal.
Remember, everyone in the panel and all the blue wrenches are listed below. Please subscribe to them, because that is the best thing you can do to make this channel happen. Okay? So subscribe to Nerds Network if you're not already, and hang out with us tomorrow for the rewatch of The Dark Crystal. I will provide a link so you can watch it with us. If you're watching live, remember, subscribe to Nerds Network and Big Al Presents, because every Saturday night we have a movie that you can watch along with us off platform. So make sure you watch live with us. That's Saturday. That's tomorrow night. Well, that's tomorrow night or later tonight, depending on what time zone you're in.
Yes.
Sunday. I don't know if Deleted Scenes is still with us to tell us what's coming up on Sunday.
He's probably finally getting some sleep.
He needs to sleep once in a while, and if he sleeps through my stream, I don't fucking blame him. Deleted Scenes, like 3 in the afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. He's co-hosting with Jedi Bill. Western Cinema Presents. I have no idea what it is. If you were following my MeWe below, you'd know. Look, there's a lot of links below in the description. Go check them out. Be part of the community. In between Fridays, you can keep up with all of us. So that's Western Cinema on Deleted Scenes. He's got Unscripted at like 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I don't know what the fuck the title is, but if he was here, he'd tell us. If you were following my MeWe, you'd get a notification a half hour before. But that's the lead into Geeky Geezers. Boomer, I know that I am right there with you on the notes, but I am so blotto right now, you better tell us
a lot
what's
of
coming up.
discussion, including maybe the revenge of Bob Chapek. We'll see.
Hoorah!
What else is going on that night? I guess we'll talk a little bit about this Indiana Jones game announcement, in addition to what else is going on. Oh, and they're changing the name of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning with no
Yeah,
Part 1 in the title.
I don't know about that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of that's an interesting. That may or may not mean anything. We'll talk about that. Yeah,
It'd be funny if the Blu-ray player, your Blu-ray player updates and the Blu-ray you bought, and it deletes the Part 1 from your actual Blu-ray copy. That's what I want to see.
Dude, man.
For your digital copy, you know what? Your digital copy that came with the Blu-ray, I bet it had Part 1 in it, and then they might have gotten rid of it on the digital copies after the fact.
We'll see.
Oh,
fuck digital copies. If you don't have own physical media, fuck you. The Bosco scenario, welcome, my friend. Yes, we are wrapping up right now, but doesn't matter. Super appreciate having you here. Let's face it, you could always, rewind and watch from the beginning. That's one of the beauties of YouTube. So that is, we got a lot of stuff for Geeky Geezers. When I sober up and get over my hangover tomorrow, I will get the notes to you, Boomer, and we'll get ready for Sunday. And then, of course, after Geeky Geezers, deleted scenes.
Other Side of Midnight.
Other Side of Midnight. That's 11 Central, midnight Eastern. Great wind down to the weekend. Tuesday, again, on Deleted Scenes channel. All of us here on the panel and Deleted Scenes, on Deleted Scenes channel, live from Sparkwood and 21. We are going through every episode of Twin Peaks.
Yep.
And we're doing a deep dive, and not just the episodes, but all the extraneous EU related material related to Twin Peaks. If you ever were interested in Twin Peaks but were a little put off by how bizarre it is, join us. I'll help you out with it. I'll be your crutch. It'll be a lot of fun.
I wonder if they I wonder if he'll find the letter in this episode. Agent Cooper.
You mean under the fingernail?
No, not that letter. The letter that Audrey wrote him.
Yes. This is the episode where we focus on the rescue of Audrey.
Gotcha.
Look, I had a bit of a crush on Audrey when I was watching the show. Kind of a different kind of crush since I met her personally. She's awesome. She's awesome people.
Yeah, she was on Gilmore Girls for a little bit too. That actress.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Family.
So if you want to know a little bit about the behind the scenes and stuff and some of the lore, join us on Tuesday night. I'm happy to share some of that with you. Met some of the actors in the show. Met Jennifer Lynch, the daughter of David Lynch, who also wrote Laura Palmer's Diary. Netter got to be closer to her than I was. Yeah, that's fun on Tuesday nights. Thursday, Netter's Network. What are we doing this Thursday?
Thursday. We are going to be having on Thursday things special guest Sin's Corner. Looking forward to that.
Sin's Corner. I'm really looking forward to that. And the awesome thing is I will be sober by then, so I can really enjoy that. Guys, you don't realize how friggin' blotto I am.
How many of those did you have? I saw at least
This
2.
would be the equivalent of a third. So if you're mumbling at 2, 3 is...
Yeah, I only saw you pour the original one and then one more. So
You had the cherries though.
I drank the cherries from the first, and I'm about to get to another batch of cherries.
Oh yeah, you did have more cherries down here somewhere.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I did. They're completely empty. There were 6 drunken cherries, if that means anything to y'all. So that was Thursday, and I don't have a subject for next week. So if you guys have a suggestion, if you guys have a guest you'd like to see on the channel, you know what? Shoot it to me. Send me a DM on the X's, Twitters, or on the MeWe group. Let me know. Just interested in what you think. I really want this to be a community thing more than a me thing.
Cool.
So, but JPRPH1, you need to go back to the beginning of this video and watch it because my song today was dedicated to you. You are an incredible supporter of the channel with a huge financial contribution. I super appreciate you. As I said at the beginning of the show, whenever I do a song for you guys, if I was monetized, which I am not, I'm like 300 subscribers away from being monetized. But if I was monetized, I would lose all that the money for the current stream because of the song. I keep getting hit with copyright claims. So that is the sacrifice I make for y'all. So when you guys follow the link below in the description and buy me a drink, that's literally financing this stream. It really is. So if you enjoy what I'm doing, please buy me a drink. And I'm not literally saying you're buying me a drink. You know, I mean, I may buy some booze. You know, I'll definitely dedicate a song to you, dedicate the drink of the night to you, but, you know, it's encouraging me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Cool.
Just saying. But, and you guys are all saying hi to each other, which I super, super appreciate. And I know, Boomer, you're trying to get the stream ended so you can get the fuck out of here and get some sleep because you gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah.
You guys don't realize this guy. He's a civil servant. He works for a library, and that means normally he can work normal business hours, but fuck it. Sometimes they decide he's got to do shit on the weekend.
We usually alternate Saturdays, so no one's stuck working 2 in a row usually. But yeah,
but you have to work this Saturday.
This Saturday I got to work. Last Saturday and after. Yeah.
Thank you,
I got caught up on my.
No, what were you going to say, Boomer?
I got caught up in my schoolwork though, so I'm in a better mood though at least. So,
that's right. You're getting your certification, so.
Well, that's basically it's an elaborate certification. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
JPRPH1, I dedicated the song at the top of the stream to you, so good. Thank you. I don't want you to miss out. And the Bosco scenario, I'm too drunk to remember if I said hi to you, but I super appreciate you being here. And you know, look, if you come in at the end of the stream, that's fine. You can always rewind. This isn't Rumble. You can right now go to the beginning of the stream and watch from the beginning. You absolutely can. So, yeah. So, did I cover everything, guys?
I think so. Would you want to have Netter do her closing out like she usually does?
That's probably. see, there you are being my designated driver, helping me close out the stream. Thank you, Boomer. Yeah, Netter, if you want to close us out, I will close out the stream.
Well, you know, I always say that, you know, make sure you are subscribed to the panel. Make sure you are subbed to one another in the chat. And if you think you're subbed, go back and double check because, you know, YouTube sucks, likes to take away those subs. So make sure that you are still subbed to everybody that is here. And with that said, we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. Of course, in Troy's case, it's a little bit.
She knows how fucking drunk I
am. Excuse me. And of course, I lost my train of thought with that.
I'm sorry I derailed you, sweetie.
You know, it's all well. Okay.
It was me because I added in that extra line that I'm not used to adding in. It's like, it's kind of a. Script is the wrong word for it. It's got a format to it, and it's like if I change
there's nothing wrong with going off script. That's fine.
We could talk amongst ourselves. I know you usually say that, right? Yes.
Yes. We could talk. Let me just start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, you did that last night.
Yeah, I did
Do it tonight. Go for it.
I did that last time because I just completely lost my train of thought.
If you have a problem with it, screw you. It's my stream. I want to let my Netter do what
And I wasn't even drinking last night. It was just something just totally derailed my
It
brain.
happens.
Yeah. So, we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You are our family. We appreciate you so very much. And you could be anywhere right now, and you're here with us, and that is so encouraging. So thank you all so very much for being here. So make sure you are subscribed to everyone in the chat as well as everyone in the panel. And we will definitely see you next time. God bless.
Guys, she kind of covers it. You know, here I am slurring my words because I am fucking drunk, but she's absolutely right. I spend more time with you guys on Friday nights than I do with my family. So when she says you guys are family, you guys are kind of a cut above my family. You guys are awesome. I super appreciate every single one of you.
And here's another thing. We were saying last night on Thursday Things that, you know, when one of our own goes missing, we want to find out, are you okay?
Yeah.
Because my interview yesterday with Disney Sheepherder, where after the last time he had been in my show in October, he just disappeared, like overnight.
Yeah.
And we were all freaking out going, what the heck happened? So he told a story last night on what had happened, but it was like we were sending out notifications, people going, have you heard from him? Has anyone heard from him? What's going on? You know. So
guys,
we watch out for you guys.
It's
too.
true. You guys absolutely are family. She is not just blowing smoke. Samuel Proctor says, Natter, did you slip in a drink too? Yes, she had a Kahlua and cream, but she never had enough to get as blotto as I am.
Oh, I didn't even get a buzz.
No, she didn't even get a buzz. So, good night, everyone. I super appreciate every single one of you. We're not just blowing smoke when we say that you're family, but the fact is we don't keep in contact with our family as much as we keep in contact with you. So thank you. Anything you can do to make this a better stream, share out the stream, get your friends to subscribe. You know, if I can become monetized, this could become a full-time job for me, and the streams could be much better, and you can get videos throughout the week. So help me out here in any way you can. I super appreciate every single one of you, and take care. And if nothing else, looking forward to seeing you next week.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.